Hi, good morning. We are Francisco Javier Avitia Palma and Alain Duarte Mariscal, and we're going to be talking about uniforms. The debate rages in should students have to wear school uniforms, depending on if it's a public school or a private school. Whether it's simplifying morning routine, uniforms come with an array of benefits for children, parents, and teachers.
Are school uniforms policies over the top? Traditionally, uniforms in school have served to homogenize the student body and create a sense of school membership. Schools should be strict about this situation. Let everyone know that it's obligatory to use a uniform, otherwise students will be in a lot of "you're pulling my leg" situations, without knowing what is true or false. Most schools argue that requiring everyone to look uniform leads to advantageous outcomes, including improved academic performance and attendance and enhances student discipline. A recent study using data from 39 countries found that wearing uniforms in school did help students to be better behaved. Another study in America, however, found that students who were not wearing school uniform performed better academically than those who did wear uniforms. For these students, the research showed that behavior and attendance were not affected by whether students wore school uniform or not.
Educators and experts who are in support of school uniforms believe that buying the kid a uniform contributes in a positive way to their behavior. As far as we're concerned, when the student wears a uniform, they feel more professional and behave accordingly to the rules of the school. They also theorize that students can become distracted by fashion trends and status symbol clothing. Therefore, when all the students are dressed in regulated uniforms, there is less focus on the way the clothes are.
Repressing children's desire to express personality and identity. In the 1960s and 1970s, resistance grew to many aspects of the authoritarian practices of school life, including the wearing of a uniform. The uniform came to be seen as a symbol of student oppression that suppressed the right to self-expression. How one wore and one's hair became a particular source of conflict, as students wanted to follow the style of pop stars, and leaders in school felt this was slippery slope to anarchy.
Also, you can have easier mornings. Everyone knows exactly what the kid needs to wear, the regulated school uniform. Even your parents keeping an eye on you will realize that. Instead of worrying about what outfit you need to use, you can just use your uniform, and this will make everything easier.
Self-expression. Children and young people yearn for the right to self-expression through hair, dress, and facial decoration. Outside the school grounds, we see this in hair of varying color, jeans ripped and tight, facial hair of varying styles, and makeup applied liberally. The school can give you a hand making you use an uniform. It's easier and more practical. We know that as children develop into adolescents, they begin to make independent choices and assessments about who they are, who they will be, and how they will act in the world. As such, they often desire increased independence.
Also, schools without a school uniform policy will still have rules on what type of clothes are allowed and not allowed in the school. For example, like visible logos, offensive text on clothing, gang colors, or ensembles. You will be there to hit the books, not to be fashionable.
Also, in self-expression, however, in schools with such strict policies, it is not surprised that students rebel against these expectations, especially when they do not see this way of dressing reflected in the adults around them in workplaces, in the majority of the cases.
Okay, cut this shit out. One of the main reasons for school uniforms is that all the children are dressed the same. This will decrease in bullying and teasing. The school shouldn't bite off more than it can chew. Creating uniforms and fashion clothing, they just need to keep the uniform simple.
Young people may be more prepared to accept the limiting of their choices if the limits applied are not arbitrary, outdated, and in some cases directly discriminatory. While some restrictions of choice in school uniforms may be justificable for safety reasons such as leather shoes in home economics, inequality and discrimination have no place in Australian schools. If schools wish to retain schools' uniform, they must ensure that uniform policies do not unfairly impact on one group of students. At long last, schools should work with their students' body to amend and update their uniform policies and seek feedback from the broader community.
Also, the school spirit plays a big part. There is a sense of identity and community shared through the school spirit, boosting this and out that many schools don't have, just like the school spirit.
The weekend style, with all the money a parent saved by not having to buy day-to-day clothes, they can choose to let their children buy a few nicer and more fashionable pieces for weekend and evenings. Wearing a uniform 5 days a week might make students appreciate their weekend fashions even more so. This could also inspire them to take good care of them and appreciate their freedom and individuality outside of the school system, dying to use normal clothes on the weekends.
Also, simple economics. Buying a new school uniform instead of a new school wardrobe every fall is much more economical. School uniforms are designed to stand up to everyday wear and repeated washing. So more parents, just for the fun of it, will find that they will get away with buying a few sets. Doing this 1 week worth of laundry just for the school clothes will simplify the process and allows your child to focus on what there's more important, going to school and not to be fashionable. And that's all for our part. Thank you all for paying attention.
Thank you, teacher. You're amazing.